Yo, ladies and gentlemen, the Cigar City Sports Podcast is back, and we are in full swing, baby. Week 2, technically, of college football, but week 1, right? It's week 1.
Yeah.
Joining me, the illustrious group here, we've got Mr. Nello. How are ya? I muted his mic. Little treat for everybody. Mr. Ryan, how you doing, brother?
I'm swell. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. And we have a special guest with us. AB, how's it going?
I'm doing great.
Welcome back to the show. Here you go,
Appreciate
Noah.
it.
Yay, I'm here.
He's here.
I'm
Some
happy
people
my
just-
nose won. I'm fired up now.
I knew this was going to happen.
We're 2-0 for the first time in a long time.
I know the Kents was such a hard team to beat.
Was it Duke Kents or is it Duquesne?
I don't
Duquesne.
I don't know, bro.
All I know is I actually had a lot of friends that are not Knowles fans that were saying that the Knowles were going to beat LSU. And make no mistake, that was the biggest game, the biggest, air quotes, upset of the week.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, I just want to get the take from the Knowles fans that are here. What does this mean for Florida State beating LSU first game
What
with
is the question?
Okay.
I mean, what's the expectation after you guys beat LSU neutral field? You guys weren't sitting here saying that LSU is the freaking world beaters.
No, of course not.
You're very realistic that they are kind of a mediocre team right now, but they've got a lot of prestige. They've got a lot of history at LSU.
They still have talent. At the end of the day, they still have talent.
And they'll still beat
sure.
Penn State 10 out of 10 times.
You mean FSU?
Oh,
No,
absolutely.
they'll still beat Penn State.
Oh, LSU.
LSU beat Penn State 10 out of 10
You're out of your
times.
mind.
Yeah, easily.
You're out of your dome.
So
Out of your dome.
I'll say this: I picked against FSU this week.
I did too.
thinking that it was a game in Death Valley.
No loyalty.
So,
now-
For shame.
so here's my thing, and for me, I have to say I did go against FSU as an FSU fan
sure,
because man, Norvell just hasn't won a big game yet.
He hasn't.
I mean, if you go off of last year, he did make a lot of changes and stuff. And at the end of the day, LSU still has talent. So, and it was in Louisiana. I mean, even though New Orleans what 30 minutes, 45 minutes. From
oh
Baton
yeah.
Rouge,
So technically
still
a home game.
It's technically a home game. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Now you guys travel well,
yeah, we did.
so
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't been watching the last few seasons. Why y'all bringing your ass all the way to Louisiana to watch this shit?
I'm gonna get drunk, man. Bourbon Street.
so, 2-1.
So
That is the only reason why anybody showed up from FSU to that game.
Hey,
It's because it was at Bourbon Street.
I debate about going up there.
yeah, I bet. I mean, it's not as easy as going to Doak, but that would be a fun environment just to go watch the boys play. Now, were you guys in panic mode into the game, or were you just not were you expecting the worst?
I was like, here we go again. Same
Yeah.
old Knowles. When he fumbled that ball, I was like, same old Knowles. And then they started driving. I'm like, oh, we're about to lose. We're about to lose.
Yeah,
Like,
that pitch, that's one of my biggest problems with Mike Norvell. I don't understand his offense, all the misdirection and taking so much time to develop
Right.
to try to run the ball for a half a yard.
It
Like, I
reminds
can't
me
stand
of it reminds me of John Gruden's play calling, because he would do that a
Yeah.
lot too. Like when we won the Super Bowl all the way back in 02,
Yeah.
Buck's offense was 5 motions before somebody snapped the ball for something like that. That kind of offense drives me crazy.
it's like, why?
Yeah.
And I was telling my buddy about Norvell that bothers me about him. This is the third time he's done something that almost cost the game. And
Yes.
I mean, I'm not comparing him to Nick Saban over here, but when was the last time you ever seen Nick Saban make a decision that cost him the game?
I just
Right.
want to say
You just-
Norville and Saban should never be used in the same
Yes,
sentence
I
ever
understand
again.
that. I understand. But I'm talking about, if you're talking about
So-
great coaches.
But no, you can, because that was one of the things I'm watching this game. I was watching it with friends who actually don't watch college football, don't watch football really at all.
Sure.
And I'm like nervous, and I'm like, they're like, why? He's about to. I was like, he's not in there yet. Something could go wrong. And literally as that happens, they pitch the ball, fumble. I almost got up and just walked away. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
So let me ask, how long has Norville been with the team?
This is third year.
So he doesn't even have his kids in yet.
No, and that's another reason why I am not as hard on him.
Right.
But his play calling, bro, you got to do something different, or find an offensive coordinator or somebody, because, geez, bro, it's like a slow kid with Down syndrome got a hold of the playmaker on Madden, and he's making their plays.
Well, it's like Utah throwing the ball at the goal line right there. Like, it's like literally almost the same thing. Why? Like, why? Why? You hand the ball off. Everybody knows you hand the ball off.
I want to.
Yes,
I want to
don't
get
touch the
into
ball.
that a little bit later. But what were you going to say?
Norville was brought in from Memphis as an offensive genius, and you're telling him to give up.
That's
the
what he
one
was.
thing.
That's what he was touted.
That's correct. Yeah. Oh, look at that offense. The running backs were running 200 yards, 300 yards. They were trying to go to that Florida State running back heavy.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
and so against Duquesne, you guys had 3 backs go over 100.
Yeah,
Yep.
which was pretty impressive.
I mean, it doesn't matter really who it is.
Yeah.
Going for 300 yards in a game is a big day.
Yeah.
yeah,
If it was easy, everybody would do it. That's how I look at it.
right.
And
Right.
I know, as he would say, ask Sanders all about going over 100 yards a game.
he don't do
It's
it.
tough. But so Florida State, you guys beat Duquesne. That's a joke. But you guys beat LSU. That gives you some notoriety. I'm not saying they need to be in the top 25.
No, of course
And
not.
you're off this week.
Right.
So this is something to build on for FSU football.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not crowning you guys. I don't think that FSU is going to start being the resurgence of old, but this
Of
is a
course
step in the right direction.
I have more confidence in beating Clemson now.
And then-
because Clemson is coming to us. I have more confidence after this game. I'm not saying we will beat Clemson. I have more confidence
I would
in them
say
doing it.
after watching Clemson, they've struggled as well. And
Bro,
if
they
you
need to get
guys
that
can
kid.
get to that quarterback, you definitely have a shot.
They got to get rid of that DJ kid. That freshman, did y'all see that freshman for Clemson?
No.
He looked good. I'm not saying he's better, but he looked pretty poised and pretty good. I mean, it's kind of like the Trevor Lawrence situation last year.
Sure.
It's like the offense just wasn't running smoothly. Guess what? Throw Trevor Lawrence in, they win a national title. You know?
I mean, Trevor has one of the best arms in football.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
really great. He
Yeah.
really is. He's surrounded by some subpar talent, but he's not really looking great.
How's he surrounded by subpar
So-
talent? Jacksonville only got 9 but first round picks.
So they've got ETN, they've got now they got Christian Kirk, and they've got whatever. But we're not going into pro. We're talking college.
Yeah.
So let's take a look here at the old schedule. You guys have a rough go back to back to back.
You guys go to Louisville,
No,
and then you play Boston
I'm
College.
going to that game, Louisville. I'll be at that game.
That's awesome. That'll be fun.
And then you go through the 3 toughest teams in the ACC
So
3 weeks in a row.
you have Wake come to town.
Okay.
That will not be a fun game.
No.
Wake is going to.
Wake is
It's
good.
not that I don't think Wake has more talent than Florida State.
No, of course
let me
not.
be clear there. I think Florida State has more talent for sure, but Wake has been getting embarrassed by you guys for a long time. And they're running through teams. I think they're coming into Doak for blood. And then you guys have NC State and then Clemson.
NC State is the thorn of every team in the ACC.
Oh, my God.
And they're actually good this year.
They're schedule
NC
busters.
State kills me every year, man. They wear me out.
The only thing you guys going against you with Clemson is coming to Doak. But there's no way you're going 3-0 in that tough schedule. I think 1-2, and that's being generous.
I don't think 1 and 2 is generous. I think if you guys can actually find a rhythm in these next couple of weeks, scroll up a little bit. Because you guys are off this week,
And then it's Louisville and Boston College.
yeah. So Louisville and Boston College are your time to get it together.
Yeah, see, I'm a little upset that we have the bye right now.
Yeah, you think
Like,
it's killing them
I
all?
would love to keep the momentum going,
Oh, I love it.
but I hope they can come back with that momentum and then just run it out for the rest of the season.
You're gonna have to because these other teams are coming for blood. And Florida State last year was abysmal.
Right.
So
I'm not gonna lie, that defense looks much better.
They look good, man.
really,
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was it? I'm sorry, real quick. Wake Forest is coming in.
yeah.
Clemson's coming in.
Wait,
And
no. Wake is coming to you.
Okay.
You guys are going to North Carolina.
going-
That's
Yeah, we're gonna lose that game.
and then Washington, or then Wake, Wake, NC State, and then Clemson's coming to you.
Okay. Oh, we go to North Carolina?
Yeah,
Oh, we're gonna beat North Carolina.
In North Carolina.
in
All
North
right.
Carolina.
Tar Heels?
All right.
No,
Did you
NC
go to the
State.
game
Oh,
on
NC
Sunday?
State. No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, NC State. Okay, yeah, that's a loss. Yeah.
That's a big time up. But not because Florida State isn't good, right? I get it. He's turned it
We gonna
around.
struggle with NC State.
They had 2 great games. DeKent's, tough guy. LSU, great win. If LSU doesn't have those special team problems, you guys take an L.
Hey, guess what? They
That's
did
true.
have those special team problems.
I'm just saying.
And we beat them.
Give Kelly a year.
I was the one who was saying that LSU was going to be good this year.
Me too.
So-
No. Actually, I want Brian Kelly to fail. I don't like him.
They're not going to be terrible, but the problem is this. Your team is based on running. It showed that LSU was able to stop the run game. Can your quarterback lead you? That's the question.
I'm feeling good about him, man. I'm
That's
feeling
the
good about
question.
Jordan
Yeah.
Travis. I mean, I mean, he's no Heisman candidate, but I mean, he made some good, impressive throws. He does extend the play, which I do love about him. He does extend the play. There's a few times he was dead in the water, and he extended the play and extended the series. So I have a little faith in Jordan Travis, especially from looking from last year.
Oh, he looks
my Lord, he looks way
better.
better.
Yeah, I was actually impressed. I'm like, is this the same kid that played last year?
Yeah, that's what I was like, who's this cat? So
at least you're seeing progression.
So clearly he's had time.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, here's my thought.
I went to
before
put the water
season,
boy in last season, let him throw the ball.
Shit, this guy.
when the season started, before the season started, I was like, hey, in my opinion, Florida State should win 7 games this year. Like, I don't care. Now, if they don't win 7 games, I want Norvell on the hot seat. This is before the season started. Now, seeing them the first 2 games, I believe that Florida State can win 9 games.
Do you think Norvell bought himself an extension beating LSU on primetime?
No, of course not. Of course not. Because in my opinion, if you can't beat the rivals, you can't beat Clemson, you can't beat Florida.
I was about to say, let's stop right there.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's not about division rivals. It's about beating the Gators.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it's about.
We got to beat Miami and we got to beat Clemson.
That's
Exactly.
not true.
As far as I'm
Harbaugh-
concerned, we only have 3 games a year, like I say. And if you can't win those 3 games, get them out of here.
No,
What are we,
you're
6
right.
in a row against? No, what are we?
It's definitely your in-state rivals, Miami and Florida.
Yeah.
But most of all, if y'all ain't beating the Gators, somebody's getting booted.
Yeah.
That's not true. Harbaugh lost like what 5 times to Ohio State,
And how many times has Harbaugh been the head coach of Florida State playing the Gators?
but Michigan, Ohio State.
Answer the question.
I don't know. No,
Thank you. None.
But Michigan.
So we're talking about a different rivalry.
But that
And
rivalry
in
is just as bad,
That
if not
rivalry,
worse.
it only matters if you beat Florida.
Yeah. I think, here's the thing. If he loses to Miami and he loses to Florida and he loses to Clemson, but he finishes 8-9 wins, I think he buys himself 1-2 more years.
If you guys beat the Gators, he's bought as much time as he needs.
Yeah, he's bought a few more years. with
But I don't
Gators.
think that's the case.
Yeah. Are we going to Florida? Florida's coming to us.
I don't know how it looks this year.
trying to remember.
Actually, it'll be the end of this schedule here. Take a look. Looks like they're coming to you.
They should
Hold
come to
on.
us, if I'm not
Oh, Dope's
mistaken.
rocking, baby.
Yeah, they're coming to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
I'm going
last
to be
year
You
there.
guys got to go to the U too, though, and that's another big game. That's one of those rivalry games.
That's a rocking game. That's going to be hard. You guys have a tough schedule this year for sure.
So 9 wins, okay?
And we got them last year. So.
Yeah, I see
gonna-
9 wins for us.
I'm going to take you through the rest of the schedule. You're going to give me a W or L. Obviously, things can change.
Okay.
Louisville. You go to Louisville and you.
Win.
That's a
Win.
W. That's a W.
Boston College comes to you.
Win.
Win.
That's a tough one.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
Wake Forest comes
Win.
to you.
I think
Wait, no, let him do it because you're going to do it every week.
Fair.
Well, it depends. If it's a night game, I'm going to say Florida State.
so.
If it's an early game,
TBD. I'll tell you what. If you guys win these next 2 games, even if you lose to Wake, you'll be on prime time playing against NC
Wake
State.
Florida State will be a primetime game, maybe in the midweek if you can beat Boston College.
okay, I'm going to say this. If we win the next 2 games, we're beating Wake Forest. We win the next 2 games because it's going to be a
I think
primetime
Wake
game.
is
They're
the
coming in.
toughest one other than Clemson on the schedule for that. The Wake is going to be a
Those
tough
going
game.
to be rocking. I might roll up there again.
Hey, I'm sure you'll have a great time.
So you beat Wake and Doak. You go to NC State.
You called that a loss.
Yeah, that's a loss.
Okay.
Then Clemson is coming to town at number 5.
I think that's going to be a win, man.
Is that too
I'm
much?
calling an upset
Is that too much
Early
pressure?
upset.
Is that
Early
too much
upset.
pressure for those guys?
for Florida State?
Yeah.
Man, here's the thing. We almost beat them last year, and we were god awful last year. And I'm not sold on that DJ kid, man. I'm just not sold on him.
I'm not sold on their quarterback either.
And they're coming to Doak, and it's a rival game. I
Okay.
think we beat them.
8
and
wins. She's got
then-
4 so far.
Then you got Georgia Tech. That could be a win.
Yeah, that's a
Win.
win.
That could be a win. That's and then you're in Miami. That's tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a loss. I'm gonna give them a win on that.
That's
But I'm
a
gonna give
hostile
Miami a
environment.
win.
Hostile environment. Then you guys are at Syracuse. You better win that game.
Yeah.
That's a you're supposed to win. Then you have Louisiana. That's another game you've got to win.
That's a win.
And then you've got the Gators coming to town.
Oh, babe, we're turning it up, babe. We're winning this game.
There's your 8. If you call the Gators winning,
We're winning, dude.
right?
yeah.
I mean,
That
I think that's fair.
Louisiana State, that Louisiana Tech game, those Raging Cajuns are the team that he left. They're going to come play with a chip on their shoulder.
I don't
no,
know,
that's
man.
like a no.
South Alabama's gonna handle them too in the Sun Belt Conference. Go Jags. South in your mouth. I'm an alumni of South Alabama, so
All right, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. We
So basically, he's riding that Florida State game as a W. He's like, screw the Gators. They got nothing.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think there are a couple ones that I would have called differently than you.
Yeah. I see
Most
6
importantly, I think Florida's defense is a lot to handle.
They
It's
are
a
better
lot to handle.
They are, but here's the thing too, man. I'm not sold on Florida's. I'm not sold on their offense, man. Like Anthony Richardson.
Let me tell you something. You're about to sit here and clown Anthony Richardson.
No. I'm saying
Dude,
this.
that guy was throwing absolute piss missiles all over the field.
Here's when I was watching Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
My thing is this: if you can contain him and make him throw the ball, because
Sure.
if you watch the first half, he was not super impressive. Now Napier did say he has seen the ball, he has seen the field, he's reading the guys really good during halftime report. He did say that, but I mean, there's a lot of times he extended. I think one of his touchdowns was like a 40-yard run.
I got to agree. So
I
the
mean, he's
containment.
extended-
Now he's efficient.
Yeah.
But I think maybe Florida doesn't have the wideouts to do what he
Right.
normally wants to do.
I'm not worried about the wideouts or
But
running
that,
back.
That kid, Anthony Richardson, he was slinging it, and he's 11 carries on the ground for 106 yards, 9.6 yard average.
Let me see what he does against.
He averaged 10 yards
Almost.
against a really good defense.
So I'm just gonna say it's not gonna be for
Against
Florida
Utah?
State.
Yeah.
I don't
He
think
went 17 of 24 for 168.
Look here.
That's more than efficient. I'm
I
sorry.
watched-
That's more than efficient.
168 is for me the completion that's less than 10 yards per pass.
It's the
Yeah.
accuracy.
Okay, but I'm going to go to his point.
Yeah.
It's not about containing him. You need to hit him.
Right.
You need to bring him down because that's how you're going to fluster a guy like that. If he can't get away and he needs to make a throw, he's got the arm.
Right.
That
Yeah.
kid Richardson can
He's
throw the
talented.
ball.
He's very talented, but if you looked at Utah, man, they were missing tackles left and right. Like, I was on the phone with my buddies after the second series. I turned to him and I was like, bro, I said, Utah's going to lose this game. I said, Utah's literally going to lose this game. He was like, for real? I'm like, yeah.
You trying to find the game?
I said,
I see
they can't
Utah.
even
I
tackle
was
the
just
guy.
seeing they were ranked 7th.
Yeah, they were ranked 7th
Yeah.
coming into Ben Hill Griffin.
Yeah. Like, bro, like, they couldn't even tackle. Like,
It's first game of the season.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to tighten up. But yeah, I mean, this kid is not easy to tackle. Anthony
yeah.
Richardson.
Yeah, he's like, what,
It's-
something,
I think,
235, 6'5"?
You guys, if you want to have a chance of winning that game, containing that guy is not going to be enough. You guys are going to need plays on offense and defense, and you're going to need to hit him and sack him and fluster him if Florida State wants a chance. Now, being in Doak is going to be great because
Yeah.
you guys are going to be rocking. You're going to be loud. You're going to be in his face. But, I mean, that's a lot of talent.
I do want to see how they do against. Are they going to Kentucky or Kentucky's coming to them?
They are going to Kentucky this week.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
That's one of those things. If their defense doesn't show up, it's going to be a long game.
But Utah, man, I'm just like, I was watching. I know they like that kid, their quarterback, man, but man, he made some decisions. I'm like, this is a senior quarterback making these type of decisions
From Utah, yeah.
From Utah, I mean, he's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but
I thought you guys were I thought Florida was toast. I thought that Utah was driving, and I was like, I cannot believe the Gators just did what they did and are about to give up this game because Utah was at the end of the game walking on them. And if it wasn't for that pick, I mean, who knows?
I mean, why throw the ball?
Sound like Nello now.
Why throw the ball? Like, why? They were what, down by one? What was Utah?
They ended up winning by 1.
Yeah.
Oh, Utah was down by 1. Yeah.
Down by one, you're throwing the ball. It's a field goal, you win.
Yeah.
A field goal, you win. That's what I'm saying about coaching. Like that. That's 100% on the coach. Like, why
Yeah.
throw
Yeah,
that
because
ball?
they lost by 3, right?
No, they lost by one.
They lost by 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lost by 3. My bad. They lost
Doesn't
by
matter. Doesn't matter. I still agree.
3. Yeah, run the
I'm
ball.
going for the run, and if I've got timeouts, which I think they did, I think they had two
I think they
timeouts.
had 2 timeouts.
Then run that ball. If you can't score, then get that tie and go to overtime.
Well, if you watch the replay, there was a guy up the middle that was, I'm trying to remember, it was the number 2 on the right side. He was actually open up the middle. And he
Just
was
a
trying
bad
to
throw.
He was what's his name? The tight end, he fell. And then he tried to throw the ball. I was like, there was like 3 guys right there. I was like, I don't know why he even threw the ball.
Just forced it.
Yeah.
Big moment.
Yeah.
Big moment.
So I
And
mean,
that's
I
why-
mean, we
what
don't
are they-
really. Go ahead.
What conference is Utah out of?
Pac-12.
Pac-12.
The Pac-12. Yeah.
So here's my issue, right? So your run game, and you guys had 3 runners over 100 yards, right?
right.
So in my opinion, the most important thing is that run game needs to establish itself because they gave up over 200 yards to 2 running backs from Utah who were sus, right?
I agree. Yeah.
Otherwise, You're saying you can contain him. How are you going to move the ball against that defense?
Well, you got to be able to run the ball.
If you don't run the ball, the game is over.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, you know what?
Is your
actually
run
helped
game
us-
good enough? Because I mean, you couldn't do it against LSU.
Man, I think people are LSU always has a great defense, and
do.
they have athletes.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not that they have a great defense or that they have great play calling. They just have stupid good playmakers that play for their team.
I think people keep forgetting how talented Louisiana is. I think they're still. Nello actually laughed at my my comment when I said Brian Kelly's gonna win a national title at LSU. I will freaking put my left nut on it.
Oh my God!
Wow.
No!
I'm telling
No!
That'll be the weird thing to go up on the bet board.
Brian Kelly, you better win a national title. I don't have any kids. Yeah.
we can put $1 on it. We're doing this. We're playing with an idea.
Okay, a beer.
So we're betting. No. It's $1.
$1, okay.
And then we're gonna make like some sort of something to hang it up, and we're gonna post it.
Okay.
And
deal.
that's gonna be like I call it the wall of shame. We'll figure out something else. For
We'll
that.
draw.
He
a left
calls
nut
it the
on
wall
though.
of shame because he's going to be on it more than anybody else.
But we already have somebody on it already. I just want to be clear.
Okay.
But we'll get there.
But I'm saying, man, if you look at Les Miles won a national title, Ed Orgeron won a national title. Even though that was lightning in a bottle, he still won a national title.
Ed Orgeron
he still had
is like John Gruden with the Bucks. Somebody built that team.
Right.
That somebody handed him the keys to a brand new car and said, "Drive this thing." And all he had to do was drive the car, and Joe Burrow and the rest of them boys were going to take care of business. There was not much he was going to do about that.
He had really
I
good
wouldn't give
assistants.
that one to Orgeron. And the reason I say that is because Dungy teed up the Bucks, and then Gruden took over and
But
gave
here's the
him that
thing.
And
last
two,
one.
What was
how
his
mad
third
are
year?
you if you're Ohio State? Like, man, we let that kid walk away and he won a fucking national title.
First round overall pick, then goes to Cincinnati.
he was.
Year 2 goes to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He was the third string too. So, but even still, like if you look at it, excuse me. What was it? Was it his third year he won a national title in?
Who's that?
Ed Coach O.
Was it his third
It was
year?
like his third year. I could have swore it was his third year when they won a national title.
I think when he was there, Joe came over and he had just gotten Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
because I thought 2017
He had
was his first year.
Devin White too, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he had Devin. No, Devin White left a year before they won a national title.
Gotcha. No, I knew that. I'm just saying Ogeron had
Yeah,
Devin
he had
White.
Devin White. But remember, they won 10 games. They lost to UFC that year previously. When they had Joe. My bad. Yeah, UCF when they had Joe Burrow. But overall, man, Louisiana, you got to think it's every kid. I don't think people realize every kid in Louisiana is an LSU fan. If you're born in Louisiana and raised in Louisiana, you're an LSU fan.
It's shocking to see those kids go to Auburn or
you don't-
Texas.
And people keep forgetting, I think Louisiana is number 3 most NFL talent per capita in the whole country. I think they're number 3. 3 and number 4.
So
I know-
number 1 being Florida.
I think
number
Florida's
2
number
being
1.
Texas?
Texas number 2, and I think Louisiana's number 3.
It's between them and Cali.
Cali.
California. Yeah.
So you think of Louisiana per capita. So if you look at that, I mean, dude, they have talent. Like, and me personally, Brian Kelly, he's really he might be a dick, he might be an a-hole, but
I mean,
he's big on discipline. One thing Notre Dame they were very disciplined, and people gotta understand how hard it is for Notre Dame. Like, one, to get the talent there.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be a dumbass at Notre Dame.
Right,
Like,
now he's going to be able to recruit all those kids that he said he couldn't recruit. And guess what? He did that, and he still couldn't get it done.
Well, hold
That's
on.
it.
Whoa.
That's completely unfair to say when he's one
year
game.
in.
He
into
said
his
that in
game.
the press conference, like, "Oh, I could build a champion in no time in other places. It's easier to recruit." Give me a break. They get the top of the
it's
top
1
athletes
year.
too. It's him. He's just not good, and I guarantee you, he won't win a title.
You have no
it's
leg to stand on to say. I don't like Brian Kelly either, but I can't judge a college football coach until he's in year 4.
Yeah, right.
That means his boys are there. They're in the program. They know the system. This is what you promised. This is where you try to deliver. So to say that Brian Kelly is not gonna doesn't have the team yet already. He's still working with Ed Ogeron in the transfer portal. He's got a brand new bag of trouble.
Here's the thing too, man. I didn't realize they said this. He's the most winningest FBS coach, active coach.
Active coach.
He's
What?
Yes. I saw that.
Brian Kelly?
And that's not a trivia question either. They were
He's
showing
at
that.
like 285 games
Yeah.
or something like that.
And he's like 14, 15 games more than Saban right now. I think Saban's at what, 274 or something like that?
I don't know,
Or
but he
260
is the
something?
most winningest coach
Yeah.
right now.
He has a lot more than Saban, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, if that was a trivia question, I would never have guessed them.
Me neither. I would have said Saban all day.
Yeah, all day. But
We'd
if you
have
look
all
at,
been wrong.
Yeah.
you think of it, Notre Dame, he's the winningest coach in
hold
Notre
on.
Dame history.
It's just Notre Dame history. It's not like NCAA history, right?
No, he's the most
And
active
FBS. And right now, football.
He has the
Sports
most
history,
active
yep.
wins right now. It's him, Saban, and Mac Brown in that order.
Wow.
So he has the most win. I mean, the dude's winning games. It's not like he was like,
And
was
he
up
will
and
get
down
talent
Notre
at
Dame.
LSU. As
He's
much
gonna
as
get
I
talent.
can't stand him, LSU is too much of a talent pool.
Right.
And they might be in trouble because when Texas starts getting those SEC recruits, then things might
Yeah.
get a little hot.
It might change a little bit, but we'll see. I
Yeah.
mean, we'll see. But in my opinion, I mean, I'm not worried about Jimbo, but in my opinion,
No.
yeah, Jimbo's.
I don't
yeah.
like Jimbo either.
Yeah, but Brian Kelly, man, I mean, the guy has won games. He's been consistent at Notre Dame. Man, I mean, I'm giving him 5, maybe 6 years. I truly believe he's going to be in the playoffs in year 3.
Well, it won't matter because the playoffs is talking about going to 12 teams.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be in the
So
playoffs.
yeah, there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be there, and all the Cinderellas will get there. But you know what? When we get back, let's talk really quickly about. I want to talk about the Bama game.
Okay.
I want to talk about Georgia, Oregon.
Okay.
Then we're going to take a break, and then I want to get into our picks for next week, and then we'll talk about that playoff expansion.
Nick
So,
Saban has
first
more
thing I
wins
want to talk
than
about
Brian Kelly.
is the Bama game. Anything that we didn't expect to happen there?
Yeah, nah, not really.
I think if I'm from my standpoint, our defense actually looked better than our offense.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed by it. What's the linebacker?
You mean Will Anderson?
Yeah, Will Anderson. He might win the Heisman. He might be the first defensive player, like legit defensive player, winning the Heisman.
Other than Charles Woodson,
Yeah.
but he had the returns.
yeah, he was doing the returns.
But the thing with him is he's playing on the team with the wrong guys in terms of the Heisman. Heisman is most valuable to your team. And if people are looking at that, Bryce Young, I mean, golly, 5
lights
touchdowns and then over 100 on the ground.
I will talk about Notre
He's
Dame, I'm
lights out.
assuming, but like, did you see the difference between C.J. Stroud's game and Bryce Young's game? I get the depth and talent that they were playing. He looked like he didn't miss a beat.
Bryce Young,
Bryce
it was kind of really
was
insane
lights out.
to watch him. And
That's why I don't mind if Tua doesn't. I mean, if Hurts doesn't work,
I'm just saying that
You'll take another Bama boy?
all day.
as of right now, I was talking to somebody and they were like, no, there's no way Bryce wins 2. I was like, but if he continues throwing 6 touchdowns a game,
yeah, he might.
he
do it.
threw, let's not miss, he threw 5 in the first half.
Yeah.
He did one more drive in the second half and left.
That offense just was like, it's just click.
It really
click,
was.
click.
And I know it's Utah State, so we're not talking about, oh my God, crown them.
Yeah, they beat Ohio State like that.
Now,
yeah,
if they
like that.
do Texas like that next
Yeah,
week,
might be worried.
we might be having a conversation.
Ooh,
So-
juicy.
I was
Yeah.
sitting there watching the game, and when he threw his 4th touchdown, I was like, Nick Saban warned us about this.
He did.
He warned us.
He did.
He said this last year was a rebuilding year, and people laughed.
Which is crazy.
I took him seriously, but I was like, he was serious.
And what I think he's talking about is how that defense came into their own. Because as soon as the second and third stringers came in, Utah State started driving a little bit. And I was like, here we go. And then
Just stay healthy.
they tightened right the fuck up and goose egged them 55-0.
Just stay healthy, Bama. Bama's going to win
like
the game.
like Alabama is so good that Saban demands that his third stringers play as good as the first stringers.
And I was watching
you
that,
get what
and I
I'm
was like,
saying?
and I was telling my wife
That's how it
for the
should be.
millionth time that look at the passion that he has screaming at a third stringer on the field. I mean, he is turning red in the face. He's 70-something. I'm like, is he going to die? He's out there just screaming.
Die.
He's screaming. And I'm like, tell him that somebody get him something to calm down.
Dude.
But I'm like,
What's that,
but
Diet Coke?
this is what doesn't matter, man,
Yeah.
because that's why
That's
when
why he
those
keeps going.
guys at third string get up to first, the expectation is 100% clear, and he does not slow down at all. Scary. Anyway, let's
Yeah.
move on from Bama. That was, more of the same.
Yeah, you
It's
want to talk about
obvious.
Penn State?
Yeah, sure.
Why?
Let's talk about Penn State.
That was a good game. That was a great game.
Let's
that
talk
was a
about
great game.
let's talk about the reigning champs.
Like Clifford
Georgia
coming back.
Hoof.
Let's talk about the reigning champs.
Yeah.
We are Penn State.
Yeah, we're going to see another Bama Georgia SEC championship, and probably another Bama Georgia national title game.
I disagree with you there.
Oh.
Because I think Georgia or Alabama, whoever loses, I think the voters are going to try to make a point to bop one of them out.
So, like we talked about Brian Kelly, you guys gave Brian Kelly all these excuses. It's his first year there. Give him his kids. So, does that not count for the Oregon coach?
Oh yeah,
it absolutely does.
Yeah, I mean they just.
Then why are they crucifying this poor guy, saying, "Oh, Oregon should have never been on the field"? This and that.
Here's why.
Because Oregon has been overhyped.
And
always, I agree with you 120%.
Here's the other difference. Norval's in the game.
Yeah,
he's competing. He won the game. Even if he'd won or lost shortly, you can have that argument. Oregon, there was just such a difference. I mean, like Georgia. I watched a replay of the tight end. That was a grown man hurting 3 other grown men while he was moving down the field effortlessly. Georgia looked so clean.
Yeah.
Offense and defense. And this is the other thing. You talk about that Norval's known to be offensive and all that. Isn't Oregon's head coach an offensive-minded guy too?
Not this guy. This guy was in D.C. at Georgia.
Really? Okay. Was. Well, the thing is,
all I'm saying is, first of all, you got a transplant in Bo Nix, who is not like the guy you're walking around bragging to everybody that you got, because Bo hasn't been.
Oh my God, it was so
impressive.
bad. It was so bad,
and you just realize that the talent at Auburn might just be a little bit better than the talent in Oregon.
Yeah,
and that might have been making Bo look really good.
But you know what? That Georgia defense. Taking all those players out that they lost in the NFL, and they just plugged and played like Bama does. And that's scary.
The only reason I'm not crowning Georgia right now is because this is a year I need to see something like that because of all the immense talent they lost off of that team on both sides.
Guys, man.
Starters.
Yeah, 8 starters.
Yeah, 2 of them to the Eagles, by the way. Interesting.
I heard somebody say Oregon flew across the country just to kick a field goal.
I mean, it was just bad.
The internet's undefeated. The meme of the Oregon plane saying this is the only touchdown Oregon got this weekend.
And it was like, at that point, they're all doing the O. It's like, guys, stop. Put the O's down.
Yeah, please.
It's nothing. Yeah. All right, let's take a break, and then we're going to get into picks, and we're going to talk about this new playoff proposal. All right, we'll see you in a minute.
All right.
All right, so let's get to our picks for this week, shall we? Let's get into it. There's a lot of really, really easy games this week. So we're going to run through those, especially ones that we're all on. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to discuss those games that are not unanimous. Let's go from top to bottom. We also don't have Clay's picks in yet, so that might change. But either way, let's go up to the top. Guy with the Excel sheet who doesn't know how to work Excel.
I'm doing my best.
He's trying.
Hey, we all got way better than last year.
We all got Bama over Texas. We've all got Georgia over Sanford, Ohio State over Arkansas State, Michigan over Hawaii, Clemson over Furman, Texas A&M over App State. We only had one idiot that took App State. Anybody want to guess who that is?
I'm just saying, man, why not? They put 66 against North Carolina. Why can't they do it again?
North Carolina.
They scored more points in that game than in the basketball game.
They are now going to Texas, where the men live, and they're going to play a ranked team.
I know this is a loss, but why not? Those 1 o'clock games are terrible.
It's fun to pretend. Oklahoma versus Kent State. We're all in Oklahoma. This one, we are a little split. We got Baylor at BYU. I just think BYU has some great momentum right now. Nothing against Baylor. BYU at home. Everybody has BYU except Mr. Ryan, who took Baylor. Any reason you took Baylor?
Just I think they're better. A better team than BYU.
I think their offense has been more explosive in years, but I think BYU is the better all-around team.
BYU and Provo, before their defense is beat up, that could be a formidable. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Defenses are going to have to show out. I'll give BYU the edge because it's in Provo.
Yeah. Everybody took USC over Stanford. Everybody took Oklahoma State over Arizona State. And then the FSU boys took Kentucky in Florida versus Kentucky, and they're both doing the chop. Hey, Ryan, what's that thing every time we bring up Florida that you say?
Fuck them boys.
You guys are putting your faith in a dude who drinks coffee and mayonnaise.
Hey, we also called it last season. We called that.
Who the hell does that?
Levis, whatever the hell, the quarterback for Kentucky.
We called that
Yeah,
loss
he does
last
that.
year.
He does do
He
that.
did it on like national television. This is how I drink my
No,
cup.
you did call that loss last year.
And y'all
100%.
thought we were crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both
Both
y'all.
of you did.
Both
Yeah.
of you.
There we go.
Yep.
I realized that.
No, you absolutely did, and I remembered that. And Kentucky's a good team. I don't think this is a gimme. I just think they don't have what it takes to stop Richardson, so that's why I went Florida.
Well, you gotta remember Kentucky. They always play great defense, and it's at Kentucky. And I think the last
That's their biggest boon is they're in Kentucky.
And also, I think was it the last 7-8 games? I think only one of those games ended less than 2 touchdowns or something like that, or 10 points. Like all their games are always close, like
Yeah.
Kentucky and Florida. So
They're a good team.
yeah.
They're a good team.
I mean, what are they rate? 18,
They're ranked 20th,
20th? Okay.
and Florida's in at 12 after being unranked last
I
week.
mean, they beat number 7 Utah
I mean, how did they
No,
jump
I
high,
don't
though,
doubt
man?
that.
because they were probably in that like 30 to 35 range. And once you beat a top 10 team, you shoot up in the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
A top
for
10
sure.
team that doesn't even belong there.
That's
It's not
true.
so much-
That's not true.
Talking more so about the
It's not-
SEC and them being trash.
It's not so much about that. It's because
Wow.
it's
this guy
early.
wins 2 games.
No, I'm saying that's what the coach from Utah said.
That's true. He did say he was going to stomp him before halftime.
So the reason they jump up so high is because it's early in the year and nobody's fucking playing anybody.
Yeah.
They're all playing Sister Mary Catherine's Orphans of the Poor. And so Florida plays number 7 Utah, and nobody else has any game to say anything against it. That's why they shout at it.
Exactly. I mean, I get that. I understand that.
For sure.
That.
Yeah.
I understand that.
I think Florida's going to be mad from last year, and I think that Kentucky's going to get it again.
And here's
It's
the
a
thing.
tough game.
I think it's a setup. It's a setup game. I think this game was very emotional. It took a lot out of them. Now they got to go to Kentucky, which is going to be a very intense game again for them, man. I'm just saying. I think Kentucky.
I think it's a test.
It's going to be to the end. It's going
It's
to
a
be
test.
to the end. It's going to be the last couple series that's going to decide. the game.
Whoever gets to the quarterback in that game is going to have a good game.
Is Kentucky's defense good enough to stop AR-15 from running?
I mean, Stoops is a great defensive coordinator, man. Like, I mean, when
I'm
see.
going to say no to that. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I
let's
agree.
move on. Utah, all of us got Utah over Southern Utah. That's our revenge game. I'd hate to be Southern Utah.
God bless them.
Michigan State versus Akron. We all got that. Nobody took Southern Miss over Miami. Miami is going to go in there and put their dicks in the dirt. We do have a split game here, and I don't know where Clay's going to go with this, but I have a feeling he's going to go South Carolina. We are split down the middle. Me and Mr. Ryan on the Woo Pig Suey, and you two boys took South Carolina.
Yes, sir.
And you like that quarterback from Oklahoma.
I don't know what to think of it, but
Spencer Rattler?
Spencer Rattler.
I didn't think Arkansas did a great job against Cincinnati either.
Sure. Well, Cincinnati was
Yeah.
supposed to be this big top team last year. They're supposed to be the perennial playoff guys. They're so good.
Yeah, but when who they face again? They face Bama, right?
Oh, they played Bama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And everybody's like,
That's unfair,
Sauce
man.
Gardner didn't do it.
I
It's
mean-
like, did you watch that game? We ran down their throats.
Bama makes everybody look bad. So
So then we got
that Sauce Gardner thing is trash. With it.
we got Pitt versus Tennessee here, and 3 of us were on Tennessee, and you took Pitt. Mr.
taking Pitt,
AB.
man. I'm taking Pitt. Pitt is going to beat Tennessee, man.
In Slovan, you trust. You think that quarterback is good?
I think Pitt's going to beat them, man.
I think Pitt struggled last week. Not that West Virginia is like elite competition, but if you're struggling against them, and Tennessee has been on the rise, they have been playing better and better every year. And it's in Rocky Top. That's tough. NC State versus Charleston Southern. We all took NC State. We all took Wisconsin over Washington State. We all took Ole Miss over Central Arkansas. And I think, were we split Wake at Vandy?
No, but I'm just saying Vandy's 2-0 and top of the SEC. I just want to let everybody know.
This is
It's
the
okay.
Vandy way.
It's okay. It's okay. And
Sound
then
like
we
the
got
players.
we're split here. We're
Yeah.
split here with Houston
and Texas Tech.
and Texas Tech. I don't know why you have Texas Tech for me because I had Houston, but the only Texas Techer we had here was Mr. Ryan.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't understand how. I haven't seen the Texas Tech at all here, but
FSU not playing this week, so no pick for them, but normally we would. And the other notable Florida teams are in the top 25. You know who's notably absent from the top
dude,
25?
USF got beaten badly.
Bad. I think that's Auburn. Auburn's not anywhere to be seen.
Whoa.
And their quarterback, with
Wah,
Bo
wah,
Nix
wah.
leaving, is an upgrade. That
Yeah.
kid is a
Dude,
stud.
his arm is freaking. Whew,
Yeah, that kid from Auburn can play
Yeah.
him some football.
God,
They
he
beat
left
Mercer,
LSU.
who's nobody, 42-6.
That's why. That's why nobody gave a shit that they.
Yeah. Anyway, that kid TJ Finley, that one right there.
Yeah.
Oh, he threw 2
He
picks.
threw 2 picks, man.
But he's a hell of an athlete, and he can throw the ball. I guess he just has some decision issues.
So I did
They
hear
run
that was his
150 yards,
biggest.
so that running back's good.
I did hear that was the biggest complaint about him. It was his ability to, well, not his ability to, but he doesn't take care of the
Decision-making.
ball. Yeah, his decision making is not good.
He's too much of a gunslinger.
Yeah, but he has a hose. Like,
Yeah.
golly, he has an arm.
But it's the wrong coaching staff because that coach at Auburn is on the hottest seat in the SEC.
Yeah, he
It's
is. He is.
scorching. It's like on fire.
That is another one, and Auburn is a place where if you can beat Alabama, you can lose other games and be forgiven.
Yeah,
This one here, Auburn is in a bad way.
yeah,
They were probably regretting the day Nick Saban touchdown in Tuscaloosa, but I mean they got a long way
They
to go.
did get that title though,
Yeah, they did.
and they did get one of the best plays ever in that field goal return.
The
for-
Chris Davis,
Yeah.
that was insane.
That's about it.
But yeah, so this is a good week. We're gonna get off to a good start here. But let's talk about this proposed playoff change.
We don't want to talk about Penn State.
Why?
They're not in the top 25. Nobody
both
cares
of them.
about them. They're not going
Well,
anywhere.
we're going to beat Ohio this week.
Okay. Ohio.
Of Miami?
I thought you were going to end it with that with
No,
State.
no, it's not Ohio of Miami.
Ohio.
Yeah, bro. Big win.
Got in a fight last week. Yeah, who'd you fight? My sister's kids. I kicked their ass though.
That's why I wanted to say Ohio. I just wanted to hear what you were going to say.
Oh boy. All right, so the college football board is coming in and saying, "Hey, let's move this from 4 teams when they were all saying, let's do 8, let's do 8, let's do 8." He's like, "Nah, let's go 12, baby.
Yeah,
Let's kick it up to 12 teams in the playoffs." Now, there's 2 ways to look at this for me, in my opinion. It's good for college football fans.
yeah,
It's good for the people that want to watch more football.
right.
I don't know if it's great for the student athlete necessarily for when exam time comes around and some of these are trying to get degrees, although that seems to be less and less important with NIL deals and people making all the money they want so they don't need to go to class. And I think it's good because it's going to be more revenue for college football, or as I'm going to start calling it, semi-pro football. It's just insane to me that they're always like, "Oh, we're all about player safety. We're all about player safety, but let's add a
games.
bunch more games,
More games.
more games that are supposed to matter,
Right.
and more." I don't know. I mean, as a college football player, let's say you're a bubble team. Like last year, who was a good bubble team?
Hold on. I'm going to pull up. There's a graphic somewhere that shows what it would have been last year.
Let's get that
I'll
pulled
get
up
that
right
Who's
here.
13 and 14?
Exactly. Nobody
Look
knows.
here. Overall, man, like long as Nick Saban's still at Alabama and Kirby Smart's at Georgia and Ohio State's still Ohio State.
Yep.
I mean,
With Ohio State's only real contender being who?
yeah, like 12, 11, 10, and 9. They're not going to beat the top 4. They're just not. More than likely, they're not going to beat the top 4. It's going to be the normal, the top. It's going to be 1 against number 8, maybe. I don't know. I
Okay,
don't know
so
how it's
here,
gonna
let's
be.
just get the
Yeah,
breakdown
break it
here. Here's the guys. If it was top 12, here are all the teams that make it in. Go back up. Right there. Okay, so Bama, Michigan, Cincinnati, Baylor. Which
Because that was the top.
Since he might lose.
to start it. So after that, wait, what is this?
The buys, because teams get buys, don't they?
No, dude.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, that's if this year ended right
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought this was last year. I was like, this is not last year's squad. Okay, just projections. Hypothetical, obviously. We're not crowning any of these teams. First of all, one of them that's in top 4 ain't going to make it. Bama, Michigan, Cincy, Baylor. Cincy's not going to make it. Done.
Why is Cincy in the top 4 again?
Because of their conference. So
We're
this
just
is supposed
using
to be-
last year's record. They're showing you like
This is so they're saying the conference winners, the SEC conference winner, the Big 10, the ACC, and the Big 12.
the Power
The
Six.
winners of those automatically in.
Okay.
Second place, we got Georgia. Notre Dame is an independent, so they would have been there. Ohio State is the runner-up for the Big 10. Ole Miss just on record because Georgia would be the, in theory, loser of the SEC championship, which I wouldn't crown that either. But Oklahoma State, Michigan State, Utah, and Pittsburgh are the guys that sneak in.
Yeah, those teams losing, man.
That's a lot of football games for a lot of teams that
Yeah.
obviously
They're not
aren't
gonna
going to cut. They don't cut the mustard.
Yeah.
Period.
Pittsburgh's not. Pittsburgh's not beating half those teams.
It's not beating any team above them, in my personal opinion.
But
they're not beating a single one.
Yeah.
But isn't that the whole point of the expansion? Is to give that small guy a chance?
But
You
they're not
keep
gonna do
saying
it.
that. Okay, look at what happened.
that's the whole point
what
of the
happened to
expansion.
Cincinnati? What happened to Cincinnati? Give the small guy a chance. Oh, they can do it. They're going to go all the fucking way. What happened when they played a real football team?
But who was the team again? Can you just for the crowd?
I believe it was Bama, right?
The only team that doesn't get a mud hole stomped in them is Georgia last year to Bama. We all know this,
Yeah.
right? We know. I'm not saying that, but don't
However-
they deserve a choice either way? They won the ACC, right?
Here's the thing. If we're looking at this and Cincinnati plays Michigan, stomped. Georgia, they'd get stomped. I'm saying Notre Dame.
Cincy ain't in the ACC
Notre Dame
either.
would have stomped Cincy.
No, but check it out. So the matchup.
Ohio State for sure.
Well, hold up. Since he actually beat Notre Dame, didn't
I
they?
was just thinking that
Yeah.
right as I said that.
They beat
I'm
them
looking
in
at
regular
teams
season.
right now. Last year, though, you're
Yeah.
correct.
And that's
Cincinnati
what
did
gave
win.
them their whole jettison up kind of to where they're at.
Top four.
But they didn't play anybody else. And I don't understand how you think you can take
That's right.
the kids from Little League and like, hey, let's go play with the big boys up here.
I'll agree, right? But just hear me out. So if so from 1 through 12, the
Robin
12
Hood.
number 12 Pittsburgh would be at Georgia as their first game. Let's say the playoffs with last year's records happen. The first game, Pittsburgh, Georgia. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh has no chance.
Zero.
With Kenny Pickett.
Zero chance.
But then the point is, the next game is Georgia Baylor.
Georgia.
And Georgia's gonna run
Don't
through
sleep
them
on
too.
that Baylor defense.
Oh, my
Don't
Lord.
sleep
Hold
on
on,
that
hold on.
Baylor
What was
defense.
Baylor's record
They
last
were in
year?
the top 10 too.
What was their record last
They
year?
lost one game.
no.
One
and they're
game,
the
too
Big 12
goddamn
champ.
many.
They lost one game.
They're not beating Georgia, man.
And then Utah can beat Notre Dame. Utah can beat Notre Dame.
I mean,
But Utah couldn't even beat
They
Florida.
won the Pac-12. Utah Notre
Utah
Dame.
couldn't beat what they consider a washed Florida. As that guy even, his words, was a trash Florida who has been trash.
So
last
hold on.
year's
Let's
and I'm
make,
all to say fuck them boys, but I show them respect.
let's make a designation here. Are we looking at this with teams right now here today, or are we looking at last year's teams?
Last year.
I'm looking at last
Okay.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see Notre Dame and Utah. I can see Utah beating Notre Dame last
I mean,
year.
Devin Lloyd was still there.
I can see that. But I mean, but then
Why?
they're gonna run in Georgia. They're gonna run in Georgia or Bama.
Yeah.
It's gonna be it's gonna be Georgia, Bama, especially let's don't start the NIL deals. This gap is getting wider and
That's
wider.
honestly
and
what
wider.
it's for. That's the main reason they moved it to 12. Because
Money.
if you wanted to actually make this about the college people having chances, you would have done it the season after UCF went undefeated and then turned around and beat Auburn. Then you're like, hey, here's a small school that's undefeated. Maybe they deserve a chance. But here's a little thing I'm going to teach you guys. It's called a history lesson. History tends to repeat itself. And almost every single year in and year out, SEC, you have Bama. You've got Georgia. You've got
Ohio State.
Ohio State
and Clemson.
and Clemson.
No, not Clemson.
Well, they missed last
They
year.
have
For the
been
last
there
2 years.
every
They
year.
missed 1 year.
That's what's been there.
Except for Florida State year.
And when it all comes down to
Notre
it,
Dame's been there,
pretty
they get
much,
stomped.
and the same team wins, Bama, over and over again. Why make this 12 teams?
Yeah.
Why make this 6 is
It's-
okay. I can understand 6.
It's
It
all
must be
about
the
Maybe you
money.
money.
throw
It's
2
all
more.
about money.
All about money.
It's what you said. Add those commas.
But then
But
also, oh, go ahead.
it's,
I'm sorry.
it's pointless. You are just wasting time and getting kids' hopes up for no reason and probably people hurt.
And the only thing that's going to happen is we're going to get one of these teams that has like let's harken back to the days when Barry Sanders putting up 2,000 yards, right? You're going to get one of those kids that's exceptional, and they make a run, and they're still going to get stomped by the big team, but they're going to be like, that kid right there, that's why. No, it's not because of him. It's because you want more advertising dollars, and you really don't care if these kids are going out here to play and getting concussions, getting their lives changed. All you want is to make sure you can show me another fucking Fansville commercial.
Yep.
So,
and honestly,
okay.
they want they want to hope for a Cinderella story. Look, this ain't the NCAA basketball championship, like where anybody can play against 5 and win. You're way out of your depth in a lot of these different divisions. No reason.
Well, in college football and football in general, man, it's different from basketball because basketball, at the end of the day, like, look here, if I can shoot all day,
you can
it don't
line up,
matter.
and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it don't matter how athletic
That's
you
what
are.
I'm saying. That's what they're hoping for is some kind of Cinderella story where you got this little small school over here at Appalachian
Exactly.
State,
And that's what
gonna
he
come
wants.
through,
That's what
and
you've been
they're going
talking
to become national champions, and they're going to make another movie about them.
I have a theory.
It ain't
though.
gonna happen.
I have a theory. Go ahead, Nello. I have a theory though.
So number one, that small school did be national champions. They were the national champions
Who?
that year. That school, UCF,
Who?
national champions.
It's funny because I remember watching it,
Two.
and it was Bama.
Me too. I
Two.
remember watching that
National
whole
champ-
game.
Two. Now with the with the league, with the rules at how they were with transfers before, I 100% agree. With the NIL now, if you can get on this list and be a top 12 school every year, you can buy whoever the frizzle you want.
You can buy them all you want to, but guess where the best talent's still going to end up?
Yeah, that's what you think.
so
No,
this-
it's
what I
that's
think.
what
It's okay. That kid who's a second string on
It's a
Alabama,
proven formula.
right? That kid who has a second string on Alabama can go to Texas and be a starter and make $1 million. You don't think he's going to Texas?
No, I don't.
Nope.
You're out of your mind.
He's going to
Because-
sit, wait his
because
time, and go.
At the end
No,
of the
not
day,
now. I agree. Not now. You have to be on this list.
at the end of the day, let's look at this. You tell me that the second string kid from Bama is going to want to leave to Texas for the NIL deal?
I don't know. The kid left
Because
FSU to get $1
last
million
I
and go to
checked-
Jackson.
Last I checked, by looking at Georgia's stout defense last year, winning championships gets you drafted in the first round, and then you get paid and you get the NIL deal. So I'm going to disagree with you. That
Sauce
kid's
Gardner
going to
got
want to
paid.
flash the ring. He got paid what? A
What's
rookie
he doing?
salary.
A rookie
What?
salary.
He's got $15 million in the bank?
That's
He's
good
a
for
number one
him.
pick in the draft.
That's what I'm saying. If you go to a school that can consistently get on this list,
Yeah, it didn't
You
help
can-
that he didn't give up a touchdown in his entire college career. That didn't hurt him at all.
Yeah.
It was being at Cincy in the
no, that's what I'm
playoffs.
saying. You can be a good player and be at his crap school.
All right, so good for college football, bad for college. Oh, let's
So,
get your theory. Let's
I
get
have
your
a
theory.
theory. So this is why I believe why it expanded. So obviously when they opened up, did the 4 playoffs, remember guys were calling out early. And I'm talking about like
Leaving
they
early,
were
yeah.
leaving early. They're like, hey, I'm not playing this game, all that stuff. I'm telling you, I believe that the coach, I don't know coaches, but these presidents, these people that are losing money, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I think what they did was they went to the NCAA. They're like, hey, we need to expand this to at least keep these kids a little bit in, a little bit longer.
Think about Kyle Pitts
Yeah.
a few years ago. He had a chance to play in the SEC championship game,
Yeah.
but it was against Bama, so he said, I'm not going
He's
to
not
play
playing.
because we're not going to go to the championship. We're not going to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So he just left his team.
Yeah.
So that's a valid point because he was a difference maker. Not that team was going to come close, but
So-
he was a number one tight end.
So what you're saying is
well, think
Kyle
of it.
Pitts has a brain and he's actually intelligent. You know what? I'm not going out here and about to ruin my NFL
Sure.
chances
I am.
because we're losing.
And he already knew that the NFL teams were going to come call.
Well, the thing is, I think Florida finished number 8, something like that. Well, Florida still makes
That
the
year?
playoffs
Oh,
that year.
yeah.
They're still making the playoffs. Guess what? Kyle Pitts is still playing
yeah.
because he has a chance to play for a national
If
championship.
Kyle Pitts is playing for revenue sharing of these games, and if they CBA like they're also going towards like how this Big Ten guy keeps
That
talking
is
about it,
so
they're going to make money off of this.
Yeah.
So that's how they get the players to stay as well.
But
I
even
think,
still,
I
even
think.
if I'm a top number 1 potential draft pick
Yeah.
and I play for freaking God knows whoever it is, and
Boise
I know I
State.
still have to win 6 games now or wherever it is,
Yeah.
go all the way through the college playoffs, and at the end of that is going to be Crimson. I don't know what. I don't even care. Nope. Fuck it. Let's just end this right now. I'm over here training for the combine. I'll see y'all later.
Listen, coach, I'm not trying to ruin my knee out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. And there's two mindsets to it. Sure, you're going to have a couple guys out there that are going to say, you know what, we can win a championship, we could do it, and they believe in their team, and maybe sometimes they're just maybe not all right up there. They're going to go in there and get smacked. But you're still going to see the kids that Ryan's talking about.
Yep. Oh shit. Will Anderson just put that kid's dick in the dirt. You know what, Coach? I'm hurt.
Coach,
I'm hurt.
my back. What about it? My back. It's broken, spinal.
Hey, 31 ain't finna hit me like that. I got a combine. You know
But
what
think
I mean?
of all the players that could help. If there's a fringe guy in a second or third round
Yeah, but see,
value,
that's-
just has
that's-
a stud freaking first round.
It's just what we're talking about,
playoffs.
man. It's like that. This is going to help the smaller guys with a little bit of exposure, but it's all
That's it.
about revenue dollars and people wanting to. Yeah, I bet you, like, if you have a team like Utah or something like that that's in the playoffs and you got Bama waiting on them, the Bama fans are just going to watch and laugh.
I also want to say one thing. This thing about this list, there are 3 Big Ten teams in this
Yeah,
playoffs.
for sure.
We have to do something because at that point there could be 4 SEC teams. Like, if you're going to extend the playoffs, you have to make sure
There are 3 SEC teams on that list.
there's
too.
gonna
Yeah,
be
there
5
shouldn't
SEC
be.
teams.
No, that
Guaranteed.
shouldn't happen. Then there was no point in expanding
There's
the
going to be
playoffs,
5. Watch it.
No.
That's kind of another reason why I make
Exactly.
this point.
which is why they have to be conference champions.
Because here's the thing. No, because he's got a point. So if you have, let's just take the top 3 right now. SEC, Bama,
Right.
Florida, Georgia. Not in any particular order. All 3 of them get there. You say, all right, we're only going to have 2. And Florida's ranked 6th in the nation. 1 and 2 Georgia going at it for the SEC title. You really tell me that when 1 and 2 get beat or somebody loses, they're not dropping out, but you're going to make number 6 Florida, who didn't even have a dog in the fight, get out? They got the same argument as the little guy.
Yep. And that's the problem you're going to run into.
And you can't boot them.
And playing in a much tougher division, too.
Especially because everybody says all we want to see is the best college football.
Exactly.
We want to see the best teams playing in the playoffs. So in
Bama,
your
Georgia.
situation's flawed, man. You're going to see a lot of Big Ten and a lot of SEC.
And newsflash, it's already happening, guys.
Yeah.
And I used to be
Bama,
one
Georgia every
way
year.
against it, but I've come to
And
learn.
we're not
the
even
older I've
talking
gotten,
about Oklahoma, too.
It is what it is.
Because Oklahoma's a perennial team. Usually, they're the ones that are in the conversation, if not in the playoffs.
And then they always
they're
shit the
going to be
bed.
an SEC team.
Yeah.
What you going to do then?
Tell you, half is going to be the SEC, man. I'm calling it now.
That's why I don't understand why they're doing this.
Then that's where you need your super conferences. You want that? Let's do that.
I like
and then
that.
take 4 super
so let's
conferences,
just- what are we
and then do
making?
4 from each.
making the 4 so like split it up into regionally divisions.
Yeah.
4 quarters.
There you go.
Wow.
Then you've got your SEC.
Then we
Your
just
Big
killed
Ten.
every small time school.
You
out
got
there.
your SEC,
defeats the purpose.
your Big
They're
10,
already dead,
your
honestly.
Big 12, and your Pac-12. There's 4. You take the top 4 from each. Champions get a bye. Everybody else has to play week 1. Let them play different divisions if you want. I don't give a damn.
College football committee, if you're out there and you're listening to this podcast, we came up with this idea. We don't mind you taking it for a nominal fee.
I like Dr. Pepper, too.
Honestly, I think if that happens to
Me too.
Just want to make sure that was said.
whatever top 4 there are, they shouldn't even play until they would normally play that college football. Like the last 2 were there, then they
Yeah.
split it however.
Well, not to mention, how is the schedule going to go? Because it feels like you get a damn year off between the end of the conference
It does.
championship
It does.
and the playoffs. So now you got these teams; they're not even getting a break.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they doing for exams?
I think that's
Coach wants me doing 2-a-days, but I can't come in here and take my my economics exam, or all of them want to do sports media exams.
But I think that's what makes this playoff format with 4 teams so good is that you get that break and you get to watch these lesser teams, so you still get football and you yearn for that good football. You get it? Like all that crap bowls that you get, all the Heineke mining bowls, and then you get there, you're like, oh, finally some good football, and you're sitting there watching that.
Man,
I
bring back
watched-
the BCS, man. Just
Yeah.
bring it back.
No, man, get out of here.
Honestly,
Although it is the only time we've
I
we've
hated
ever
the
won.
BCS.
I don't mind the playoffs, but
I look at it like this. BCS was, I would say maybe twice the BCS might have missed it. Twice. And as a Florida State
Twice?
fan. Yeah.
Shit,
when-
as a Florida
when-
State fan, they missed it a lot.
Well,
Even now, as a
oh,
Florida State
man.
fan, they missed it a lot. They
Well,
did not get that right because too many people have bias. And when you have somebody who's like, I can tell you right now, I'm not going to vote for anybody from Bama. Why?
right, you can't
Just
have
because.
that.
But
You
look
can't
at
have that.
But look at the BCS history of it. If you think of it, the biggest controversy was when Miami. They said Miami should have been in it instead of Florida State because Florida State lost to Miami that year, and then when Auburn missed it, Oklahoma got killed. But Oklahoma was also undefeated.
Yeah.
Except for that, those were only 2 years that it was very bad controversial. It was definitely the 2 best teams every year if you really look at it like that.
I mean, it really
In my
was.
opinion.
But, anybody who's 3rd or 4th is already going to have an argument for
Yeah,
you. So
exactly.
unless they lost one recently, then they're not wrong.
Went out.
They're not right, but they're not wrong.
Because a lot of it, too, came down to that whole strength of schedule. That's where it really mattered. And that was just, to me, unfair because sometimes you can come knocking, but if they don't want to play you, there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
That's true.
So that, to me, was really unfair. But with 12 people now, hey, man, I'll see y'all in 2026.
And they said they want it expedited to 2024. They're like,
Oh,
we want you to.
2024?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, Team Glover will be in the college playoff.
That's
I'm
right.
coming. I'm making a clown college.
The Jackrabbits.
Yeah. So y'all come and enroll and hop in the transfer portal. We'll be there. Number 12.
I'm going to say this. If Florida doesn't show up this week, it was all for naught.
What was all for naught?
This Utah win
They're
was all
gonna
for naught.
lose. CATS, cats.
he did pick their demise last year with Kentucky.
And he was actually, you know,
Shout out
it's
to my
funny
baby.
because you guys,
Hey, Chelsea.
you gave him
Shout out to the
a lot of crap about his prediction that they would
Absolutely.
lose all those games,
All those games, and they did.
and they did.
We told you they would.
They both did
Sat here.
on the eve of Florida, Kentucky.
All right, guys. I hope you're excited for next week's college football. Not a lot of great games, but hey, we'll see it. See you next week. Roll motherfucking Tide.
I wish I knew the App State thing.
App State doesn't even know the App State thing.
I'm just saying.
Blue Pig.